Welcome back to the Fly Lab. So today we're going to do a little experimental Kebari pattern. This is going to be a emerging caddis, so it should be fun. I'm using a size 14 Fulling Mill Ultimate Dry Fly hook. And the first thing I'm going to do is grab, after binding the thread on there. So this is just a UTC. I'm using an A-dot in olive dun. Brown also works great for this. I'm going to grab some of this Antron and just place it on the end here and lock it in at the back of the hook. And we'll just do a couple of thread wraps to lock that in here. And then I'm going to clip that off. And then I'll just lock this down real quick. Actually, you know what? So we're kind of just playing around here. I don't really want a lot of bulk on this fly, so because I'm going to be using some of this yarn, the Shetland Spindrift in leprechaun. So if I use too much of this stuff, we're going to end up with a lot of bulk there. So I'm going to go ahead and just lock that in there. And then next, I'm going to add on our yarn. So what I've done is I've just split this into a single yarn. These come, two together, and then they're woven together. So for this pattern, I just went ahead and split this. The idea is that I want to have a little bit thinner body under here. And so if it was both threads, it would just be a little bit thick. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this onto the hook. There we go. Looks like we got a piece that wanted to come forward, so we'll give this a couple of wraps in front and then a couple behind. And then we'll clip that. So that gives us our nice little underbody. Next, we're going to want to create that little bubble shape around the fly here. So I'm going to just take a bunch of this. I'm going to leave some for a little trailing shuck. And we're going to pull this forward and around the hook. And then what we want to do here is we actually want to lock it in towards the front of the hook, towards the eye. And then I'm going to take that and I'm just going to try and shove that back just to kind of give it more of a bubble effect here. So I just want to pull it back, and that sort of makes that bubble. You know, I'm going to make this a little bit looser here. It's not quite giving me the effect I'm looking for. Let's try that again. Stuff is really fun to work with here. Okay, and if I can get this locked in like that, there we go, that's better. So I just want a nice bubble kind of a look around that. That's looking better. Okay, so I'm going to wrap back. And then we will trim off this excess. And again, I'm just kind of playing around here. This is just kind of an experimental fly, so I don't yet know how this is going to turn out. Okay, so let's get the rest of these fibers on that shuck right there. And, you know, they don't have to be too long. I usually make it about the length of the hook, so I'll just pull that off a little bit shorter. I'm just going to get rid of this little straggler there. Okay, then I'm going to wrap back here a bit. I kind of don't like how that ended up twisting a little bit, so I'm going to do this. Try and hold those in place a little better. Okay, next step is we're going to apply some. So I want to kind of make this look like a Kebari where it's got the nice swept forward hackle. I'm going to use a partridge feather for that. So I've got my partridge feather prepared. But first I want to put a little kind of a head, I guess, right there, or a little body part, kind of like it's emerging. So we're going to use some black peacock eye stub. So some of this, just take a little bit at a time, apply it on the thread, make our little dubbing noodle there as I catch my thumb in the hook. It's kind of the usual though. And then one more little chunk here I'm going to add on. Okay, now I'm going to add the peacock. Or sorry, partridge. We already added the peacock. So I'm going to apply it in this direction here. There we go. Wrap that back a couple of times, and then we'll just clip this guy out of here. Okay, and then we'll grab our hackle pliers. And then we'll just wrap this guy around here like this. Give that a few wraps. We'll lock it in. A couple of wraps in front of it. Trim out that excess stem, trying not to grab the nice hackle fibers, and then I'm going to sweep all these back just so I can make a nice head. And hopefully these will end up sitting forward when it's all said and done. So we'll do a whip finish. And that should be it. So yeah, that's a little emerging Kebari. And so you got the nice little bubble with the green Shetland under there. The Shetland's nice because it'll tend to really keep its color even when it's wet. So I think that'll make for a cool fly. That's it. Thanks for watching.